creativity, and hence we are, relying on our innovative thinking, we are relying on our creativity, we are relying on our ingenuity to achieve that particular goal. Next is why training and development is necessary, because global advances in the technological sector has forced a paradigm shift from general workforce to a more skilled workforce. So, influx of technology has come forth. Nowadays, we are seeing the advent of artificial intelligence that is going to aid the modern workforce. That is going to aid how business is conducted in the future. That is going to aid businesses become much more closer to their consumers. LPG has made the markets more global, or rather, liberalization, privatization, and globalization has made the global markets, more accessible. So, I am a business person who is in India. I can sell my product globally anywhere. I have access to the internet. I can sell my products online also. The modern management mantra dictates suggests a workforce that has multiple facets in skills area. So we cannot be, so for example, I cannot acquire one skill and sit down. No, we as an employee, I as an employee, or I as a business organization has to continuously see to it that the employees being employed by me are upgrading their skills, so that why it is a necessity. Because see, to obviously we are going to meet the modern day challenges. So for example, unforeseen challenges which was earlier there, like COVID-19, it became a situation where people or managers had to think out of the box. So at that particular time, people were relying on their innovative ways, creative ways to solve the logistical problem, how to see that their products are being consumed by the consumer. So in this modern day, the we cannot sit down as a company and see that only our people are you know basically getting trained in a certain manner. No, we have to see holistically what is the requirement of the market and then accordingly address the situation. Modern human resources management looks to imbibe the workforce with adequate skills, along with enhancing abilities that are important to operate as a polished unit. As a polished unit, that basically means we need to have a competent workforce that are, or where coordination, efficiency is prioritized. This also means developing good interpersonal skills, sensitivity, or that is emotional quotient, and leadership skills. Why sensitivity is necessary? Because the global workforce, we are having a lot of people, coming from different cultural backgrounds, different ethnicities. We have to be sensitive towards their even religious background. So we have to be sensitive towards their lifestyle. They have to be sensitive towards our lifestyle. Hence, there has to be a balance when we are going to manage it. Any questions till now? Anybody has a doubt? Should I continue?
Sir, ଆଉ ଟିକେ ଜୋରେ କୁହନ୍ତୁ, ଟିକେ ସ୍ଲୋ ଶୁଭୁଛି।
Is it audible? Hela ki? Am I audible now? Am I audible to all?
Yes, sir. You are audible to everyone. I think you are
Yes.
loud and clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm continuing. So, training and development. What is training? Training is an educational process which which involves the sharpening of skills, concepts, changing of attitude, and gaining more knowledge to enhance the performance of the employees. So basically, we are acquiring new set of skills new abilities, which is again, when we are talking about that, let us discuss something else. We all know what is KSA. KSA means knowledge, skills, and ability. Ability can also be taken as motivation over here. See, ability, some books will again call it as attitude. See, when we are talking about, enhancement of our skills, we are not only thinking about acquiring say technical skills. I'm taking a class in Tally. I'm going to use it to practical use. No, when we are going to, rather when I'm experienced enough, I need to, or I will be pushed to a higher level in my corporate ladder. So I have to acquire certain other skills also. I have to acquire extra knowledge to attain a particular position. There are a lot of examinations which are which is happening across different organizations just to get to a higher level of corporate ladder. Next is skills and ability, or what is skills? See, basic skills, maybe technical skills which is required. Then comes your communication ability with your clients, with your employees. But the major thing is motivation level. To keep the motivation level high, people, or rather the organizations, they keep their focus a lot. Why? Because easily, when we are working, say for example, I do not know if there is a 40-hour week in India or not, but if there is a 40-hour week, 50-hour week, which in which employees are working, then what happens is it a, easily the employee is going to have a burnout. The burnout will be caused due to workaholism. But thereby what happens is, if that person is not recognized, not rewarded, not appreciated for that work, the motivation level will drop. And that is actually directly proportional to the work output put forth by that particular person. Hence, the organizations, our businesses globally, see that skill development, knowledge development, along with attitude or motivation levels do not fall. Thereby, the organization keep or they have a training program which is ongoing, or it is paramount in their planning process. Organizational development, it is a process that strives to build the capacity to achieve and sustain new desired state of benefits the organization or community and the world around them. So it is a process that strives to build capacity to achieve and sustain a new desired state or new set of output or new set of goals or new set of objectives which is set forth by the organization. That may be, say for example, I may be in the top level management. I am thinking, no, yes, earlier we had a X amount of output and X amount of market share we are having. But this year the target is going to be 5% more, or say 7%. Realistically, 5 to 7% growth we are going to do. So that is how a business is working or operating in a day-to-day basis. But to achieve that, the effort has to be put forth by the employees, by the organized holistically. Hence, the organization aims that the employees do not have a fall in their performance output. That is again, there are certain parameters where we are going to monitor. We are going to see that their mind is engaged in work. How we are going to see to it that, then again we are going to again analyze in a nano level if there is adequate motivation. See, there are people who are self-motivated. They do not need to be pushed. But there are certain people who need to be pushed, whose motivation level is to be again kept at par or with the expected, outcome which we are going to have. I expect a certain individual to work independently. And I think that the person is self motivated to achieve. But that is not in the case of everyone. So I need to see to it that everyone is having a minimum level of motivation to get the desired output. So the major focus area in training is KSA. Next is what is training and what is development. Training is meant for operatives, rather it is meant for technical aspects. Or in a factory setup, you need skills training when we are operating or people who are operating machinery, who are operating a certain kind of technical job that is required. Development is aimed for executives. Or higher you go the corporate ladder, you need a holistic development so that it builds your personality. The aim of any organization when we are rising the corporate ladder is to create leaders of tomorrow. Leaders of tomorrow mean what? They are basically going to create policies. They are going to have that vision to take a company from where it is existing today to a much brighter, much better position for tomorrow. Training is what? It is a reactive process. Why reactive? Because managers, they see to it that yes, there is a lack in skills. So they will see, yes, if I have a workforce of around say 100 people and they are requiring a specific kind of training, say in the company or a business organization is going to implement a supply chain management software. So it is a reactive training. Why? Because I'm going to react to the implementation of new software. So, so what happens is at that time, I am going to come up with a structure of training. What? Software training. It is going to help my employees to understand the overall SCM software, supply chain management software. Why it is an active process in development? Why? Because we want to develop. In the earlier slide, we saw that knowledge, skills, and attitude is the basic area of focus. So, development requires an active process. I need to create tomorrow's leaders. I need to create people who are innovative, who can come up with out of the box thinking to counteract a move which is which has been done by the competitor in the market. Say, for example, they have come up with a new slogan, they have come up with a new brand ambassador, they have come up with an innovative product. So, if I have skilled people with me through their development and their training process, they are going to actively come up with some counter measure to the competitor. Hence, it is development is an active process. What is the aim of training? It is to develop the additional skills of individuals, of employees. What additional? Basically, when we are entering an organization, a bare minimum education degree we have. But with that, what we need to come to a specific level, or rather, we are going to have a specialization of skills where we are going to create a unique position, and I am going to be indispensable for that organization. If I have a specific set of skills and I am, encashing or it is benefiting the organization, then I am going to eventually become an indispensable part of the organization. Next is what is the aim of development? To develop the total personality, holistic personality. Holistic personality meaning not only knowledge, skills as well as attitude and ability. I am going to have a good motivation level. I do not need supervision, and I am going to be an ideal employee of the organization. Next is it is a short-term process. Yes, we are going to train people for a short-term period so that a particular skill, if we are talking about the skill acquiring situation, then it is a short term process. But modern day management says skills and the role of skills and development is an ongoing process. When you will or when you have learned about performance management says that it is a continuous process throughout the year, or it is an ongoing process every time. Hence, training and development being a part of the performance management or being a part of the overall HRM role, the HRM has to see to it that the performance as well as the development and training are hand in glove with each other, or they are ongoing. Next, development is a continuous process. Then we come to objective to meet the present need of an employee. Present need, maybe I need a particular software training. In, say, for example, in your IT sector, employees require a set of skills to, so for example, a group of employees need a certain skill set to tackle a particular software or to tackle a particular problem. So they'll be provided with training. But in development, to achieve the future need of an employee, say to rise up the corporate ladder, to see to it that we are creating tomorrow's leaders, tomorrow's thinkers, tomorrow's visionary development done. Next is initiative is taken by the management. Development, the initiative is taken by individual as well as the management. Why? Because management has to find out through performance management which individual is capable of moving the company forward. So in this, development is a initiative taken by an individual. It is also by management for the long run. Any doubts? Any questions?
सर स्लाइड टा चेंज होनी
Slide change होने I'm so sorry. Ebe, can
यस
you
सर
see?
हेलो
ଏବେ ହଉଛି କି slide change?
जी सर ଏବେ ହଉଛି
Slide change ହଉଛି?
यस सर
Okay. Objectives of training, meeting manpower needs, reduced learning time, improved performance, reduced wastage, less absenteeism, benefits to employee, fewer actually benefits to employees. Manpower need, Bhujigale, what is that? We need to,
Sir,
or rather,
hello,
yes,
sir. Can you please show the training and development slide?
slides are not changing.
No, sir.
Okay. Is it visible now?
Sir, same slide is here. Again, same slide is here.
It's not visible.
यस सर visible
The training and objective slide is not shown. Yes,
Objectives of
yes,
training.
yes. Objective, yes.
You need to see the previous slide. ये आगे स्लाइड देखिए चाहूँ जो ट्रेनिंग वर्सेस डेवलपमेंट दैट
Yes,
डिफरेंस
sir.
यू नीड टू
Training and development. Yes, sir. Training
देखा
and
लगी
development. Yes, sir. Now, this one is also correct. Now, training benefits, sir. Yes, sir.
I haven't started this. I haven't started this. Okay, objectives of training. First is meeting manpower needs. Manpower needs means what? Training manpower. We have seen what kind of people we are going to employ or what kind of people we are having. That there basically is three kind of manpower which we usually employ. First is skilled, then is semi-skilled, and then is unskilled. Unskilled need to move up to semi-skilled. Semi-skilled need to be upgraded to skilled. So we are going to identify which people need what kind of training, and we are going to segregate them accordingly. Next is reduced learning time. What do we understand by reduced learning time? What is reduced learning time? Training is more like a crash course, summer course, what we are going to do is, usually when we send people to learn, they take a, or a normal course may take us say 6 months time. But when we need people to, be ready to jump into action, say for example, if that statement can be made over here, then we need the training to be effective, and within 15 days our aim is to provide the employees with a training module which is going to train them and which is going to prepare them, so it reduces the learning time. Improved performance, obviously, when I am assessing the current level of output of any organ or any employee within the organization, I post the training, I, as an organization, I, as the manager of those employees or subordinates, I am going to see to it that post training, their objective of improved performance is achieved. Reduced wastage. A person unskilled or semi skilled, the wastage of performance is extremely high. But post training, the aim is to reduce wastage. It may be inefficient time management. It may be, say for example, raw material wastage, so on and so forth. A lot of things are there. Less absenteeism, active training, or rather, when people are provided with training, their confidence level increases. When their confidence level increases, I say, for example, if I'm a person who is not trained, I will fear to go and do my job, and that particular fear is going to, or it is rather directly proportional to the performance output. So if I am a trained individual, then my confidence level is high, and thereby what happens is I am, proactively going to achieve the set forth targets by the organization. Next is fewer accidents. Yes, when it's for operative level, say manufacturing unit, they use a lot of equipment. When I am an untrained person, there is going to be wastage. I, as a person, may not, have the focus of working over there, and that will lead to a lot of accidents. But I'm a trained guy. I know when to stop and how to manage a particular machine efficiently. Then there is fewer accidents. Benefits to the employees. Benefits is improved performance, improved confidence level. Once it is, the benefits of the training is shown on your output, what will eventually happen? You are going to be recognized, you are going to be rewarded and promoted. Next is training objectives. Slide change ହଉଛି ନା ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କର? ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କ
Yes, sir.
slide change
Yes,
ହଉଛି?
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Training
Yes.
benefits to the organization. What are the benefits? Training benefits. What is there for organization? Improve morale of the workforce. Morale is motivation. Get more Gets more effective in decision making and problem solving. See, a trained individual is obviously a confident individual and is more prepared to tackle a particular kind of situation. Hence, decision making becomes, see, when we are working in an organization, decision making is pertinent to all jobs. So, I'm a trained individual, I'm an experienced individual, then I have the confidence of making or taking the good, rational decision. And problem solving helps people identify organizational goals. Our objective of an organization can be easily identified by a skilled or a trained individual. Aids in developing leadership skills, tomorrow's leaders, motivation level, self motivation. I do not need supervision. I am self motivated to achieve my job. Loyalty and better attitude improves in productivity and quality of life. Quality of work, meaning what? You are going to enjoy your work. If I am an untrained individual, I fear the job. I do not enjoy the job. I'm having a negative set of mind. Organizational behavior. You must have come across the person with a negative mindset is a liability, or it's a person who is not, a effective individual within an organization. So that kind of a individual need to be trained. They are, or their motivation level is to be taken to from that low level is to be taken to a level where that particular individual does not need supervision, and that is the greatest problem of all managers who are operating globally. Why? Because if I am continuously being a school teacher of all my subordinates, then what I am doing is more supervisory role than the managerial role. Next is aims or aids in understanding and carrying out organizational policies. Trained individual is going to understand the management policies and why the particular policy is taken, and thereby the individual is going to work accordingly. Aids in organizational development. Organizational development means the overall development of an organization. We are going to be more focused towards our achieving of our goals, targets. We are going to create a good, healthy working environment. I am going to be, as an employee within the organization, I am going to have a good set of interpersonal skills with my employees, or that is good relationship with my co-workers. So holistically, the organization is going to be a good place to work from. Creates an appropriate climate for growth and communication. Appropriate climate for growth. A organization who recognizes, who develops the character, the morale, the skill sets of their employees is an adequate organization. That organization, in the modern day jargon, is known as learning organization. Learning organization is a organization which aims to develop the skill sets, the attitude of employees who are working with it. Employees thereby feel, yes, we are gaining a lot of things in terms of KSA, knowledge, skills, and attitude, as well as our work is being recognized over there. Creates an appropriate climate for communication, growth, and communication. See, most of the times we have a lot of different kind of individuals who are working with us. Some of us are introverts, some of us are extrovert. What happens is we need to have a good or rather there has to be a good rapport between all these forces to achieve our organizational objective. Next is training benefits helps employees adjust to change. This is the major factor. If there is any kind of say for example, do you know the pest environment? Pest environment.
Yes, sir.
What is that? Or
An
pest?
environment with which we test a product before
No, no,
going
no.
it, making it live.
It is political, economic, social,
Social,
Technology.
yes, I'm
technical.
talking about this technology, then
Yeah, yeah.
there is
Sorry, sir. Got it.
then there is environmental, and then the last one will be L, legislative.
I think so legal.
So that is legislative. That is legislative. Legal means the policies on the set forth by the government. So that is legislative. Okay. Okay. Yes or no?
Yes,
ना
sir.
Yes, sir.
बुझुन जदि
Yes, sir.
लेजिस्लेटिव को लीगल भी कर दे तम खुशी पे
Yes, sir. No, sir, it's correct.
हो तो okay fine. So when employees are or legally कर दो political legislative समान ही जो ठीक है legal fine. If there is a change in this kind of an environment, if my employees are already trained, they are trained, okay, then they can easily comply. Am I Do you understand what I'm saying? বুঝি পারলো তো?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Understood.
next, continuing. Training benefits to employees themselves. It increases job satisfaction and recognition. See, I am a person who has outperformed my colleagues. What happens is in banking sector, in certain IT sector, in most of the organization nowadays, we are getting a stamp. What is that? Employee of the year. So that kind of recognition keeps the motivation level high, moves a person towards personal goals while improving interactive skills. What are personal goals? What can be personal goals over here? Anyone? What do you understand by moves a person towards personal goal? What do you understand by this?
Promotions.
And
Self-improvement, sir.
uh, self improvement, promotion. Anything else?
The corporate etiquette.
Etiquette.
Yes.
Uh,
Sir, work-life balance.
okay, work life balance. But corporate etiquette. How? How do you explain?
So it's all about behavioral changes because
Hmm.
every
So
organization
you're
they
talking about the communication aspect and the interpersonal skills. Okay,
yes,
fine.
sir.
See, the personal goals over here is basically individualistic in nature. So all your points are collectively taken into consideration over here while improving interactive skills. Why? Which is it is necessary when we are having good relationship with my or rather when I am having good relationship with my co-workers. The basic objective is to have a smooth workflow. Am I clear? If I am having an issue with somebody else, what happens is then the work, or rather, somebody having an issue with me is not going to help me in my work. So, good relationship. Nowadays, the jargon or the basic funda is my contact. I have contacts everywhere. So that is where you encash. That is where you come up with, or that is how you are going to achieve your goals. Next is helps in eliminating fear of attempting new tasks. Say, for example, a new assignment is given that requires some kind of a technical skill. So if you guys are already trained or an employee is already trained, that person is much more capable of handling that particular situation or that task, provides trainee with an avenue for growth. Say a trainee is provided with training. It's a person who is, say for example, in the probationary period, we are going to provide them with skills. Based on their performance during that probation period, we are going to see to it that who is outperforming the number of trainees in that particular group, and from among them, I am going to select the best one to come and or have a permanent assignment with us. So, you know, training is an avenue for growth which is it is a growth potential for all trainees who are undergoing the training. Through training and development, motivation variables of recognition, achievement, growth, responsibility, and advancement are internalized and operationalized. So, recognition, achievement, growth, responsibility, and advancement were internalized and operationalized. What do we understand by internalized? Recognized, recognition, achievement, or a standard is set forth. You can explain this point. Can anybody explain this point? Interactive Rakhantu, please. No one? So
No, sir.
basically, the training and
Sir,
development
please
has certain
please
variables.
explain.
What are the variables? Recognition of employees. Recognition is required because the motivation level doesn't drop. Achievement is to be provided to those people who or those individuals who have already achieved their work and are outperforming others, other their colleagues in the job. So so growth is another factor which is taken into consideration because through training and development, those people who are, say for example, outshining their fellow employees or fellow colleagues, those people need to be provided with a chance to grow and take forth or move. They need to be moved up the corporate ladder. Next is responsibility and advancement. Responsibility. When we are advancing or when we are pushing them forward the corporate ladder, up the corporate ladder, their level of responsibility and advancement are internalized and operationalized. Meaning what? They are provided with certain standards, and those people are, they the training or post the training, the people are absorbed, they are put forth in a situation where they are given greater role and responsibility in achieving the overall organizational goal. Next is provides information for improving leadership, communication skills and attitudes. Obviously, so for example, post training, an individual will obviously either going to change for either the individual is going to change for the better output, or the individual is going to stagnate. If there is an improvement in the output, then the person is proactively going to show some positive behavior that may be displayed in uh, proactively volunteering for a project that shows I am a leader, or I am going to become a so for example, when we are working in a team is being provided a training session, and I, as an individual, is going to take the mantle of being the leader. So those things are essentially crucial for managers to identify who among those subordinates who are working for that particular person or manager is going to take the mantle forward, or is going to be provided with the growth opportunity. Next is helps to handle stress, tension, frustration, and conflict. Why conflict? Stress, I guess you have understood. Tension, frustration, okay. When we are untrained, stress is there, tension is there, frustration is there because we cannot solve a problem. We fear the thing. What is conflict? You can tell me. Why
Because
conflict?
in every individual have a different opinion about any discussion or
No, 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 no.
subject.
You are not performing. You are obviously going to have a conflict with your manager. Yes or no? Manager is going
Yes,
to
sir.
ask you why you are not achieving your target. Your supervisor is going to why you are not achieving the set forth targets. Targets are given to everyone. So there is going to be conflict. Hence, once you are trained, there is no need to be fearful, and you are more proactive in achieving the target. Next is training benefits on personal and human relation, improves interpersonal skills, improves morale, builds cohesiveness in groups, or there is a the synchronous, the group or the team is working, it is in perfect synchronous, or that they operate in a synchronous manner. They are perfectly gelled unit, and or within them they do not have any kind of issue or conflict, and they are working towards achieving the overall organizational goals. Makes the organization a better place to work and live, provides information on other governmental laws and administrative policies, provides information on other governmental laws and administrative policies. What do we understand by this? And
Because
some
laws
of you
and
may,
administrative
yes,
laws and administrative policies are changing constantly.
hmm.
So everyone should
Can
have
can you
knowledge
explain in a better manner why administrative policies are changing?
uh, because of people's need.
You can come up
People
with an
need
example if you want. It is better to come up with an exam, write your exam with examples, because it gives an opportunity to the evaluator to provide you with better marks. Why? Because the example itself is going to help the evaluator understand if the concept is understood by the student or not. So how? So my question is how training helps, or rather provides information on government laws and administrative policy. Why government laws? Or what kind of government laws?
Sir, laws related to labor relations and statutory uh, acts which need to be complied. I think both the employer and employee need to know it.
Okay, very good. What about administrative policies? Any other government law? You are working as a manager. Are you not, should you not be aware about the laws of or the uh, green laws? Say, for example, the laws which are catering to environment, pollution, that ministry. As a manager, I should be aware what kind of not only labor rights, not only IR, but I also should understand the environmental aspect of laws related to the environmental aspect. Hence, I had shown you this one, pestle environment. See what society or laws help the society overall. This is a case of human rights, social rights, so on and so forth. Technological rights is how I am going to comply with the IPR aspect, intellectual property rights, environmental pollution. If there is a forest area, then Ministry of Forest, is there a clearance or not? Is there a group of wildlife which is an endangered species? If I'm going to open a business unit over there, how it is going to affect? Then the legal aspects are the statutory and mandatory requirements under Factories Act, under labor law, so on and so forth. Am I, you know, have you guys understood this? Is there any doubt?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
sir,
No
got
doubts.
it.
Continuing. So analysis phase, or this is need analysis. We are going to again go through this in the unit 2 also, but let's just go through this. What is analysis? Who does the analysis? Kindly go through this. I'm going to provide you 30 seconds, then one of you is going to tell me what is this.
So analysis is something about a drill down process of any kind of topics or subjects that we work on.
Okay. Going through this slide, what is your, what do you understand by this? Any one of you can, explain.
Sir, analysis means this means first the organization should the management should decide what is the goal of the organization, and then how much people are there to achieve that goal, and how much resources is needed should be required. Maybe these are analysis, sir.
What have I just written over here? What is just added to the slide?
training. Training.
Training. So what we are reading, training and development. So in analysis phase, first point is we are going to understand need analysis. Need analysis. Okay. Why training is required? what is the purpose. Then we are going to understand need assessment. What kind of, or rather, what is assessment? We are going to see in what area a training or we are going to provide training for. Is it for requirement of enhancing knowledge? Is it only for enhancing skills, or is it to develop the ability or attitude of an employee? Or rather, we are going to stick to attitude, not ability, because ability is included in skills. We are going to talk about knowledge, skills, and attitudes. Attitudes in brackets would be motivation. So, for example, when need analysis is done, we are going to see what is the assessment. Assessing an individual, assessing a group of employees. There we are going. There is two steps over here. One is need assessment. Then there is performance analysis. So in need assessment, context analysis is done based on what? Context is based on what? I just said the answer. Are you guys following me? Or am I ବୁଝି ପାରୁଛ ନା ନାଇଁ? ବୁଝି ପାରୁଛ ନା ନାଇଁ?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, ବୁଝିପାରୁଛି.
If there is any ambiguity, kindly ask me. Need analysis is done. There are two steps. Let us, okay, we'll forget this part. Okay, let us just focus over here. Need assessment. One is context analysis, then is job analysis, then there is other job analysis, we are doing task analysis. So, what is context analysis?
In which subject you need assessment or analysis?
Context,
Or in-
context. What is assessment word? Forget it. What is context?
The contest about it's all about the subjective parts of any training.
So, basically, is it knowledge? Context is what kind of training I'm going to put. Is it on knowledge, is it on skill, or is it to develop the motivation level or the attitude? Context analysis is based on that. It is a part of need assessment. And we are going to do job analysis. What is job analysis? This you have done in HRM. So kindly answer. What is job analysis?
So in this part for job analysis, we will have a file like what is the requirement of the job, what kind of education and what kind of experience is
Very
there.
good.
So we
Very
need to
good. Job analysis is all of this what you have mentioned. What is task analysis? Job analysis
next step.
is the macro structure. So which is the microstructure?
So
Macro
task
is
analysis
done.
is the micro.
Very good. Very good. So in this, we are going to again assess what? KSA. Okay. Need analysis is a phase where we are going to assess need assessment based on the kind of context which we are doing. Context analysis is based on the kind of job which the employee or my target employees are working in. So, for example, I am going to train what level of employees? See, it is both the level of employees where we are going to target and as well as the functional employees. What I'm trying to say is it the low level employees and what kind of department they belong to, or what kind of machinery they are operating in the manufacturing sector, say for example. But when we are talking about executive level, then we are going to talk about the functionality. What functionality? HRM, it may be finance, it may be, say for example, operation, it may be anything. So context analysis is done. Job analysis is done. The kind of job which an individual or a number of individuals are performing and training, when we are going to provide, we are going to provide for similar job, or a group of employees who are performing in the same department are provided with the training. We cannot say ask HRM people to come and join the finance training. No, that doesn't happen. Task analysis is what kind of nature they're operating. In IT sector, so for example, a particular team is responsible for a number of projects, or a particular team is going to be undergoing training to take forth or to come up with I am going to provide them with training, then they are going to take X project from that company. So we are going to analyze what task also they are doing. When we are going into more nano level, we are again addressing those situations where actual need of training is required. Generalized training can be provided for all. The behavioral training is generally applicable to all employees within an organization. But when we are talking about specific, specialized training, then we are going to move into a nano level of analysis, and then we are going to move forward. Here, when we are talking about performance analysis, in need analysis, learner analysis is what? What is learner analysis? What is learner analysis?
So who all are performing well on that part we need to analyze.
What kind of a person is there? The nature of job, where in which level the learner is going is at. So, for example, when we are doing technical training, there are many levels of analysis. I have level 3, level 2, level 1. Level 1 being the highest, and I am going to start the training from basic level, that is being level 3. So, learner analysis is where the learner or where the trainee is currently at. I have a set of employees, 100 employees. Some of them are in learner phase 3, some of them are in 2, and most of them are in 1. So 3 need to move to 2, 2 need to move to 1. So I again have to see to it that in 1 also, how many of them need retraining because of their performance. Confusing है लगी बुद्धि पारो तो follow करो तो ना confusing है.
No, बुझिपारुछु.
Next is skill gap analysis. What is skill gap analysis? What is skill gap analysis? Okay, but if you guys are thinking, then you can understand.
There is the desired amount of skill required to do the job and skill present with the manpower.
Exactly. When we are talking about job analysis, skill gap analysis is also similar. Okay? Okay? Tapos budhila na outik ke
Yes.
explain. Okay. Should we stop over here today?
Yes, sir.
Please do again once
Okay,
the training and development side, sir.
Okay. I'll send all these to Rashmi madam, and she'll be sending it to you in your group. No need to worry.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. So because we have no books na still now, sir, that's why.
Okay, okay, then okay, fine.
Sir, whatever you are fronting today, na, sir, that much slide we only share.
So in chat box, I have written down my office email ID. Fine. One of you can ping me in this. I'll be sharing the slides, and as well as if you do not have book, I'll send you one reference book. Okay, you can read from that. Okay. Thank you all.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.